What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of The Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 10, episode 5. What was this episode called? Sunshines and Sexed. Okay, but let me just say this. Honestly, girlfriend, how y'all feeling about this whole nagging situation with them trying to bring up stuff on each other? I just feel like, honestly, the things that they're bringing up on each other, they're not really all of that. I'm just saying, like, okay, so Jazelle is dating. Who cares? That's not a get you gotcha. You know what I'm saying? This whole situation where we pick up where we left off last week, with Ashley putting it out there that, Stacey was up there talking to Chris Samuels. Stacey, I do believe you probably reached out to Chris Samuels. And, if that's the case, hey, it is what it is. And the way that I understand that Ashley brought it up in that fashion because Stacey was trying to get at Jazelle for having her little man or dating or whatever, which is no big deal. It's no biggie or no like, oh, you're not supposed to be doing this. Like, no, that's not really what it is, girlfriend. It's the same thing with Chris and Stacey, because at the end of the day, Chris Samuels can talk to whoever he wants to talk to, and especially if it's just talking, who cares? Stacey is not Monique's friend, so she don't owe her any type of loyalty. She says she don't even know the girl, but she know of Chris Samuels, okay? And so therefore, yeah, what is the big deal? That's not a get you gotcha that she reached out and talk to him. So what? What are we supposed to get out of that? That she saw somebody that was single at the time. She was single. She thought he looked good. She wanted to inquire about him. She inquired about him, and that was that. And she said, I am now back with my husband, so what's the point? What's the point? But anyway, I don't know, like, this episode was cute, but girl, it was childish. I'm feeling like Rocks. Y'all look at Rock's video. Rocks be so over it because the episode was light. I ain't even gonna hold you. It was like, we found out that Wendy considered Jazelle a friend. Oh. Okay. But they did do a little celebration of something for Wendy and her little birthday or whatever. That was cute. I still gotta get used to the fact that Jazelle and Wendy are okay. It's crazy, So we do all of that. The girls are having this little after party for Wendy, a little drinky here, a little drinky there. And then, Kiana, she leaves, okay? She says she just was burnt out for the whole day. All of the stuff that was coming down, she just, I need some rest and all that stuff. Wendy feels some type of way about the fact that the girl went and lay down. Honestly, I wouldn't have, okay? Listen, you been coming at me. You've been trying to make me seem like the villain, which I may or may not be, depending on who you talk to. And, depending on how dismissive I am of that day. Why would you care that girl is there or not? I don't get the girls. The girls don't be for real, bitch. Like, this supposed to be reality. And reality, bitch, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Girl, go lay down. I don't care. You're going to bring the mood down anyway. Because as soon as she left, Angel came alive a little bit. So they was doing some questions with tequila shots and stuff like that. The first question Ashley asked to Wendy, have you ever had a crush on, or no, had sexual thoughts about a woman? And she said, girl, yeah, it was this stripper down there at the strip club. She had braces and everything, and something about her, she was just so bad. Now, let me tell you something. Understandable. That's all I'm going to say. Understandable. Wendy, you give me that you would if you hood, and you probably dud. That's what I'm just saying. You probably did it already. But hey, it is what it is. I really feel like everybody has that, or at least women, because the men ain't gonna admit that. Like, walk past and be like, yeah, you got a big dick. Y'all ain't gonna make the child say some shit like that. Women don't understand. We'll do some shit like that. She got a fat ass. And keep it going. You know what I'm saying? That's just really what it is, okay? And so, here come Tia. Tia said, oh, ask me, because I want to know. I want to say what I have to say. Listen. I had this crush on Rachel Maddow. I said, honestly, Tia, I can see it. I was like, for some reason, I get that from you. You're gonna go that way. And they was like, girl, please, okay? We're talking about somebody in real life that's attainable, meaning that you could reach out and touch, okay? Not somebody that's on TV or whatever. And I was like, well, hey, you didn't really specify. But, Tia, good, okay, girlfriend. Tia is fun. I like Tia. I don't give a shit. At this point, I was on the fence because I was like, girl, who is this girl coming in or whatever in the previews for the season? And now that we get into it, baby, we 5 episodes in. She ain't pissed me off yet. I said, all right, Tia, you are on a roll, okay? You know how to hold your own, too. What else did they ask? Girl, all I know is Wendy had asked Angel, who would you at this table right about now? And I really thought that she was going to say Wendy. But no, she said Jazelle. She said Jazelle because of that whole situation with the pictures and all that stuff. And, at that moment, everybody was having a bonding moment, Here go Wendy. All right, guys, come over here to the dark side. Come over here to the dark side. She go over there to Wendy. They hugging. She hugging everybody. She even hugged Jazelle. Like, everybody was having a good time. So we thought. Okay? So we thought. Also, they did ask Tia, I don't know if this was during this time when they was at the table or whatever, or if it was at another time, but before I forget, since it's on my mind, they did ask Tia how did her and her husband meet, and she said that they met when they out in London town. Girl, they was in London, and she was buying this leather jacket, and so she said she heard some dude that said, oh shit, that'll look good on you. And then she turned around and was like, you think? Okay. That type of situation, right? And I was like, oh, that's cute or whatever. And then, they get to talking about the, different differentiations between black people. Okay. And then especially being Nigerian and how the children are raised or whatever, and how if the children were talking the way that they're talking over there in Nigeria in front of her Nigerian family, baby, they'd be like, they spending too much time up in America. They ain't got no respect. Because, the way they showed the way that the kids be talking. These kids these days, bro, why are you calling your mama bro? And she was like, I'm your mother, okay? And then you got the daddy that's just basically like, girl, don't even worry about that. It's cool. And so, the differences of how the Nigerian family probably felt about her dating someone that is African American, and then Tia saying that, yeah, when you do things like that, that's when you realize that, hey, there's an issue here. And, people feel some type of way about just because we're black. There's different types of black, okay? That's where you get the diasporas and all that stuff. Everybody want to differentiate when at the end of the day, certain people look at us, we all the same. Okay, so hey, it is what it is. That's why I don't even play into that, bitch. We all cousins at this point. Who cares? We need to all just come together because the country and the world is going to shit. God damn. But anyway, get back into it. So we wake up the next day and we're about to go like shopping and I don't even remember what else they did, but they went out. But before that, they was out to have breakfast, right? And then Angel comes down and she did ask to speak to, what's her face? Jazelle, right? She asked to speak to Jazelle by herself. After she spoke to Kiana, she was like, yeah, we good or whatever, but she didn't like what happened last night. And I said, wait a minute, hold up. What happened last night? Oh, wait, you weren't having fun? I thought we was all having fun. Angel, you confusing me because, Angel, I was really finna like you. For real. Like, I don't really got a real problem with Angel at this point. But I need her to, I'm not going to say loosen up. But, yeah, kind of loosen up and just not be so, maybe, and I'm going to give her a pass. The only reason why I can give her a pass because she just had a baby. She's still breastfeeding. And she could be sensitive as hell right about now because she just had a baby and them hormones are still trying to get back in check. Her hormones still probably all over the goddamn place. So I give her a pass on that. I have to remember that. And so when she talked to Jazelle about the whole picture thing, she just felt some type of way about that, which she should have. And she said, girl, I felt like you was trying to be mean. And Jazelle up there acted like, no, girl, I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just saying, girl, it just didn't look like you. Mind you, the picture that I was looking at and I showed was the picture of your face. It ain't had nothing about your body or whatever. I wasn't body shaming. I don't know if you want to call it body shaming or whatever, but at the end of the day, Jazelle, girlfriend, because, Angel brought up the fact that, she used to do sports commentary and be on red carpets and stuff like that. And she was thinner. You know what I'm saying? She had children and she just had a baby. And so she's a little bit thickums, okay? Angel, I'm going to tell you from one to whatever you are, you fine. Okay, your body look good to me. And like she said, my husband love it. And that's all that matter. If you love it, he love it. Yeah, that's all that matter. Fuck what Jazelle got to say. But at the end of the day, Jazelle basically said, listen, girlfriend, no, girl, I wasn't even trying to be mean or whatever. I said you were. You were. Because if you wasn't trying to be mean or trying to put her on blast or front street or whatever it is and be shady and all that stuff, you, like Tia said, I did feel some type of way, but I let that shit go real quick. And if I wanted to confront her about it, I would have put her to the side and not do it in front of everybody. And we would have left it alone. And that's how you do things. But at the end of the day, why does it matter? Why does it matter? And why would you even bring that up at the time that you brought that up, knowing that this woman just had a baby? She literally probably had to go back to the room and pump. Okay? Squeeze her titty out and get some milk. Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? And I caught that when Angel came over there to Kiana's house for the pre-Preakness event. And it was like, look at Angel, what's she? And I was like, what does that mean? Why did you have to say it like that? So what are we supposed to expect? And what is she supposed to think when you bringing up old pictures and saying that she face tuning and all this stuff and, photoshopping and wooing? And she's in a sensitive state where she just had a baby and she's probably really, feeling some type of way about the fact that she's not the same size that, she used to be. Okay. But we see her being active. We seen her being active and everything. And like, girl, give her some grace or whatever. Like, I didn't like that because at the end of the day, there was no reason for Jazelle to bring that up. And if it was really, that's what I'm saying when I asked y'all that at the beginning, like, how do y'all feel about the issues that's being brought up? They're making them bigger than what they are. And it's like you're searching and you're reaching for something so that you can feel the scene, because bringing up some pictures, that is not, and it's like, unless she was bleaching in the pictures or whatever, girl, what are we bringing it up for? All of you hoes at that goddamn table be face-tuning and be photoshopping and all of that stuff. Okay, so what's the issue? What is the issue? And you could have told the truth, but still, what is the issue? That you needed to bring that up in front of the whole group. If you felt so strongly about it, bring it up to her privately, like she set you down privately. That's just all it is. You bored. Ashley is bored as shit too. Okay. And at the end of the day, I really need Ashley off the show. They keep Jazelle on the show because when Karen comes back, bitch, them two gonna get into it. Them two gonna be bouncing off. And I guess she's like one of the heads of the show with Karen. Okay, cool. Whatever. Meanwhile, when it comes to Ashley, she has absolutely nothing. And when I say nothing going on for her, bitch, we don't care about who the hell she dating or not. Okay, playing around with. Outside of Michael, she ain't had no goddamn storyline, girl. All right, you can't even put him on screen. Well, we don't need him. Girl, you saw them little kids. Them kids look just like Michael. I would be so... Anyway, Ashley was just there to carry them, bitch. Michael did all the fucking work. His DNA did all the fucking work. I said, God, copy and fucking paste. Bitch, with her forehead. Anyway... So it's just like, get up off the show, because like you're literally fading into the background, which is fine with me, okay? And then when you open up your mouth, you're being so negative. They coming for Stacy about stuff, and it's like, okay, the girl is a liar. What else about it? Like, who gives a shit? She lying about stupid shit, and it's not even nothing to be that fucking upset about. And actually, it ain't even nothing to be upset about and to keep on harping about on. Okay, like, just make it a running joke and just run with it. And still, like, she's still a cool girl. Okay, she lying about a nigga. She ain't lying about nothing else so far. All right? And so we get that going on. But then we find out that Angel really didn't have a good time that night. And they like, wait a minute, what the hell happened? You came out here, we was having a good time, you was laughing, we was hugging and all of that, and now all of a sudden you ain't having a good time. It's almost as if you went and talked. Who the fuck you went and talked to and all this shit? She went and talked to Kiana. Girl, because Kiana wasn't having a good time and Kiana wasn't here for everything that was going on. Now, all of a sudden, Angel feeling some type of way too. And I'm just sitting here like, oh, Angel, Angel, Angel. Don't let your friend bring you down because I feel like you got it in you to be that fun girl. And not necessarily being fun, but just being, you know, acclimated with the group or whatever. But you just, I don't know. I'm not giving up on Angel. I'm not. Kiana, you being a Debbie Downer. You really are. Okay? You really are. Moving on from that, they was talking about the different villas, the PCP curls or some shit with Stacy, Jazzy, and Wendy's villas because they got the curls, and then the PPP, the Pink Pussy Posse. That is so fucking silly. But yeah, they was just having a good time. I ain't even gonna hold you, okay? Then they get on Angel because Angel said, my husband sent me $5,000 and all this shit. First of all, Angel, you ain't had to tell the group. Okay, listen, sometimes you just gotta keep stuff to yourself because they're gonna have a problem with any and everything that come out your mouth at this point in time. And they was like, you know what? First of all, send you $5,000 for what? Where you finna spend $5,000 at? She was like, girl, we finna go shopping. I was like, okay, whatever. It was like, you know what? You always doing something and talking about Bobby this and Bobby that. Like, what the hell do you do outside of him? Okay. I told Bobby this and Bobby said that and Bobby this and this. Angel, you actually do that, but at the same time, I don't see the problem. Like, she trying to get to know y'all. She knew. And maybe her husband is a safe place, okay? Now, when she told her husband about that shit with Jazelle in the pictures, and he said, don't even worry about it. Ain't she like almost 60 years old? I'm sorry. Being ages ain't funny. But that shit was funny. I'm sorry. That's not right. I said, you know what? Bobby said, don't even trip over that old bitch. I said, Bobby. That is funny to me. But anyway, I am such a violent contradiction. I just said that shit is not funny. Do not do that. And what am I doing? Cracking the fuck up. Girl, don't come for me. I'm just, listen, I call myself out on my bull. But yeah, I was like, But you know, they did go to the market. And when they finally went up there, bitch, what was they? They were spending money. You got to understand the currency. What may seem like a lot here, it's not a lot there. And I be so mad when we go to different countries and certain countries, their currency literally be way less than us. And I'm like, so what the fuck? No wonder why so much poverty up in this goddamn country. Because y'all just inflating. What the fuck is y'all coming up with these numbers from? And the whole countries over there, they are thriving and shit be costing $7. Over here it costs $50. What the fuck? Girl. And then they want to call them third world, bitch. No, this is third world over here if you ask me. Okay? But anyway, so before that, they go see the Hamilton, what is it? Andrew Hamilton, you know, like the play. Was he impressed? Let me look it up before I say something stupid. Because one day I had said something about geography. And I was saying the wrong word, but I was thinking geography. And I was saying the wrong word. And I go look at the comments and everybody was like, I know you didn't. I was like, well, girl, you knew exactly what I was talking about. Bitch, I was talking a little bit too fast. That's just really what it was, okay? Andrew. Because I've never seen Hamilton. I've never had that desire. Is Andrew Hamilton related to Alexander Hamilton? No. Let me look at this. Oh, well, shit, bitch. Andrew Como? Andrew Hamilton Neves. Well, how you spell Neves? Is it Andrew Hamilton? They said that man was born over there in Nevis. Okay. His mama had got sick and she died of a fever. That's so sad. And so then they, he wrote some stuff, got the people to donate to him, took him to the Americas and helped found the Americas. It's so crazy how the white people are just always colonization, bitch. How you born on a goddamn island full of and that's why a lot of these islands are just white influenced. Speaking of island, I really hope my Jamaican people are, and everybody that was affected by Hurricane Melissa, I hope y'all are, trying to recover, because it was nasty. It was nasty. I'm looking at the videos of the people still trying to find their relatives, and bodies are, it just makes me so fucking sad. It just makes me so sad. I really do want y'all to be okay. But Andrew, yeah, he was over there. We got a little bit of history and a lesson and all that stuff. I'm telling y'all, when I went to Bermuda too, was it Bermuda? No, the Bahamas. We found out some white man that was over there that they prop up like that too. And I said, oof, I guess. Give me somebody black. But hey. And that's when Ashley, she called her sons and was like, listen, this is where we at, because he liked musicals. Yay! He probably going to see Wicked, bitch. I gotta go ahead and sit down and watch Wicked. Okay, I have yet to sit and watch Wicked. Or did she say he liked music? Either fucking way, he liked the Hamilton play, which I gotta find it and watch and see what the hype is about. Because I remember it was out here in Chicago forever and a day, bitch. I gotta watch Wicked before Wicked, the For Good, come out. I don't know. I've never been compelled to watch it, even with all the hype. Even with the fact that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande could be possibly click-clacking. I don't know. I just don't. Is it good? Put it down in the comments. Should I watch it? Moving on. They had that going on. They having a good time for the most part. I may be missing some things. I don't even fucking remember, because it don't even matter. They get back on Jazelle and, her being with the football player. Because Wendy brought it up and said, listen, so the other day when we was up here trying to talk about this whole, when Stacey brought up the whole dating thing and, Jazelle talking, who she talking to, here come Ashley want to be super saver hoe, and you want to come in and try to, speak for Jazelle and change the subject, whatever. Let's get back on it, Jazelle, bitch. What's going on with that and all of this stuff, whatever? Do you really like him? Have you had sex with him? Have your daughters talk to him and all this stuff? Only Grace has met him. She didn't say yes or no if she ever slept with him, which to me says yes. And at the end of the day, they're dating. She's not claiming him. He's not claiming her. I thought it was a cute little conversation. Stacey had said something, and then Ashley wanted to try to bring it up and say, oh, well, bitch, just like you lied about knowing Chris Samuels and talking to Chris Samuels and all this shit. I was so glad that Wendy said, well, fuck all of that. We ain't even finna get into that. Let's get back onto what we got now, okay? We talking about Jazelle and her possible man, all right? And that's just really what it was, because Ashley, at the end of the day, the shit that you're doing at this point, it don't even make no sense, and everybody knows that it's bullshit. Like, girl, leave that girl alone. Stacey ain't done absolutely nothing to you, okay? She did nothing to you for you to be this hard up on her about this girl wasn't even your friend. You just known of her last season, and you probably wasn't even talking to her when y'all was not filming, okay? Like, so what is the fucking issue? Same with Jazelle, bitch, and Jazelle ain't even going that hard, all right? But hey, it is what it is. Jazelle got somebody that she playing around with. That's just it. Her daddy said, bitch, you need to find somebody to settle down with. Okay, cool. May he rest in peace. So then again, they go shopping. And as they were shopping, Wendy starts to feel a little ill. She has to go outside, sit down, ask Jazzy to get her things or whatever that she purchased it and everything. And I really feel like, was that Ashley that said, so your man got you $5,000 and we out here and stuff is only $12.25? Well, what you doing with the $5,000, Angel? I really feel like, girlfriend, you just hate it because, like Angel said, bitch, at least I got a man to give me some money. All right. You know, she's just an eternal fucking hater, bitch. God damn. You make my name look bad in every fucking thing. Shit, bitch. Am I the only good Ashley out here? Ah, Lord have mercy. I'm a blessing. I am a blessing, bitch. Somebody just went to who? Don't do me. Okay. Anyway, so they did that. Wendy get a little sick. The girls was checking up on her a little bit. They was like, and Jazelle was like, girl, sit out here. You probably need some air or whatever. Then said she needs some AC. And she said it was a bug going around in her house. And she felt like she possibly had gotten it. Why y'all do that? Why y'all do that? Girl, you said I paid for this. You ain't pay for shit, first of all. Okay? Okay? You could have sat this one out. You could have sat this one out. Because now if you did got the bug and you got to, because she said, oh, it felt like I got the flu. Now what if the girls get the flu when they get back home? And you know sometimes when people travel, as soon as they come back home, they get sick. Because, you know, being in that recycled air and being in a different type of air at the place where you at, and then being in that recycled air on the plane, and then in the airport, because that's what happened to me, bitch. When I went down there to Houston for that Renaissance concert, I was fine the whole time I was there. After the concert, bitch, I woke up. I was up in the airport, and I was like, my throat feel a little scratch. What is going on? Finally came home and had a full-blown fucking sinus infection. I don't know where the fuck that shit came from. And mind you, it was humid as fuck down there. I don't understand how y'all live down there, okay? I don't get it. The humidity be on 1,000. Bitch, what? I'm too big for that. Girl, absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. You know? But yeah. So you doing that, and then she leaves. They go play the little steel drums and all that. And shout out to Kenny for his little song in the car. That was real cute or whatever. He came big. They was doing the little drum stuff. And here come Wendy ass. I said, Wendy, go take your ass back up in there, so you finna get them sick too. You finna get the islanders sick too. Girl, go take your ass back to the hotel and lay the fuck down. And she eventually did that. You know what I'm saying? And I was so shocked once again that, you know, they was about to go out to dinner and all this stuff. Girl, Jazelle and Stacey came over there to give her some stuff. And I was just like, what the fuck? Jazelle was really goddamn concerned about the bitch. You know, and earlier she was talking about how Jazelle, you know, I've known Jazelle for a minute, and I can say now that, you know, she's my friend and she's very guarded, and I love the way that she is around her kids and all of this stuff, whatever. She was just giving her mad credit and mad props, and I was just like, whoa, wow, like brain freeze. I was just really like, what the fuck is going on? I gotta get used to it. And then Jazelle coming into the room, and I was just like, oh, she said, bitch, I was just trying to make sure you okay. Because first of all, this is my trip. Second of all, I do like the ladies. Okay? I like them. I care about them. And I want to make sure they all right. Now, they was shady as fuck for asking her, do you think, I think it was something on the lines of, do you think Kay and Wendy would be having these problems if, Wendy would have went to Kay the way that you went to Kay and her. Jazelle said, bitch, no comment, move the fuck on, because we is not finna do that. And then they give her some ginger ale. So ginger ale and power. I said, yes, come on, y'all are black. Yes, we black. Ginger ale is universal for black folks. I don't care what you say. That is medicine. That is medicine. Argue with whoever, but that is medicine, okay? Because once my stomach be feeling all topsy-turvy and I drink a little bit and sit there, it just be gas. And it just go ahead and let me go. Yeah, you know? Black. Anyway, so they go out to dinner. But before that, let me just get into this one part. When they was at that store and they was out there at the little market and they was doing the little tourism stuff and whatever and getting some merch, let me tell you, I'm wherever I go, I bring home something. I just got to. I don't even care where it's at. But when Angel was like, I texted my husband, I texted Bobby. I said, oh, don't bring up Bobby because they're going to be like, girl, you can't do nothing without Bobby. Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. My man, my man, my man, my baby, my baby. You know, they're going to be like Bobby. But she said, I texted Bobby sex. And he was like, girl, because, you know, as soon as, because it's been a minute, bitch, and as soon as we come back, I'm going to have to get some or whatever. He was like, bitch, we're going to fuck around and have another baby up in this house. And then here comes Stacey. Oh my gosh, you think I should text Timo that? Like, what would Timo do? And it was like, go ahead, bitch, do it. Now, girl, I knew she was finna get embarrassed one way or another. Stacey, I be on your side most of the time, and then the other side, bitch, you just be embarrassing me, and I just be laughing from secondhand embarrassment, because my goodness. Girl, she texting him sex, and he was like, what, you want sex? I want sex? We want sex right now? She said... Ashley said, oh, show him your boobs. Oh, okay, well, maybe that's a little bit too much. He was like, let me send this picture, whatever, like, come on, we can do the sex or whatever, some shit like that. And so she sent this picture, and she knew it was goofy, because she said it, not me. And he said, wrong number. The way they edited it to make it look like Stacey was like, huh? Only for Stacey to be like, oh no, you guys, that's his sense of humor. That's us, okay? You know, because he's German, okay? And so he has a different sense of humor. He doesn't get, I said, bullshit, Stacey. Don't play with me. I'm sitting you titties. And you gonna say some wrong number, bitch. I'm gonna be offended. Especially if they perked up like that, girl, you should be offended. He should have been like, damn. Bitch, you sent me some shit like that. I'm gonna make you feel good that you sent that. That's what you're supposed to do. This ain't no laughing matter. Okay? I'm trying to be flirty with you, bitch. Be flirty back. Stacey, you should have known. And I feel like she already did. So they go out. They go eat and everything. Jazelle and them had told them about the fact that, you know, Kiana... Wendy did feel some type of way. She felt hurt a little bit that you did not say for her birthday, little celebration or whatever. And she was like, oh, okay, well, I'm sorry that she felt that way. But, you know, I was not feeling well that day, and everything was overwhelming, and I'm surprised because, you know, one day we cool, and sometimes she act dismissive. I don't even fucking know. And I'll give Kiana that because, again, we've been going back and forth. Why the fuck do you care if I'm there? Did, you know, this whole thing with Jazzy and her pops up, and this whole situation about them talking about each other and going at each other's throat. And Kiana did think that Jazzy was a cool girl until she heard from Jacqueline that Jazzy was talking about her and all of this stuff, was saying some negative things about her. And so that's where she's getting her feelings from. And then, you know, when Kiana told her that, you know, in the other episode, that you with a man that had 2 babies on you, she was like, first of all, he did not have 2 babies on me. I said, so was it 1? Bitch, it's still a bad thing, you know. And they eventually, well, Jazzy apologized for the way that she came at her, but at the same time, she was like, and you talking about the stuff that I said about Wendy, why don't you say what I said about Wendy? And I can't own up to what I said allegedly about Wendy if I don't know what it is and if you won't say it. She was like, oh, you don't want me to say it, okay? You want me to say it. She never said it at the table unless they're going to bring it up next week. But in that confessional, Jazzy said basically Kiana told her, mind you, this was 6+ months ago before there was a so-called issue with Kiana and Wendy. Basically told her that, you know, you got to watch out for Wendy, okay? Wendy basically is one of the motherfuckers that she's a sneaky bitch, okay? You got to watch out for the hoe. Don't be close to her. And I said, damn. With friends like this, nights like this, hold on. Nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. Alright, guys, bitch. Let me get the hell up off of here. Girl, the season's still cute. I don't give a fuck. Okay? The issues that they having and the shit that they bringing up is trifling and stupid as hell. Okay? And I'm just looking at them like, what? And like I said, it's entertainment, so it ain't even that deep for me, bitch. Get Ashley up off the show. Now, when Monique supposed to be coming on here? I'm just messy. But anyway, you guys, enjoy, and thank y'all for tuning in. As you do always, I truly do appreciate it each and every time. Talk amongst yourselves, and I hope you have a wonderful start to the week. Bitch, daylight summertime is over with, and that's probably why I'm looked. Cause girl, even though it say it's 8:30 something, it's really 9:30 something. Girl, I'm a little tired. Getting old. I'm a little tired, okay? I had an eventful week. But y'all, enjoy your week and please be safe. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.